So we were keen to make the most of the plot that we're in rather than moving. And there were certain elements about the property that we didn't love. Not many, but some that we didn't love, that we wanted to improve. And we particularly wanted large kitchen, dining, living space that's quite popular at the moment. And we also wanted a play area for the moment, or a shared space for our boys that they could grow with. And we wanted to create a proper sort of utility area. And we knew that if we did those things, the house would have everything that we wanted it to have.
I suppose the main thing for us was that we'd never really embarked on a project like this before. So knowing any of the pitfalls that we could come across, whether it comes to the costs that people offer you versus the quality that you're going to end up with at the end of the project. We realized that, these sorts of things do cost money. We realized that we might have had to have spent some money to get what we really wanted. But you also don't want to be with a builder or with someone that you don't know is going to deliver that or try and pull the wool in regards to the costs versus the quality that you end up with. So I suppose it's just an anxiety of what you're going to end up with at the end versus the people that you're working with. And as I say, we having never embarked on a project like this, part of that was just the fear behind it. I think we knew kind of what we wanted from someone. I think we knew that we wanted to have someone that would help us through the project itself. And I think we knew that we wanted to kind of end up with maybe more of a partner than just a supplier, if you like, which I think is a really key thing in the journey when you've not done something like this before.
Recommended to us by two different people. In both instances, you were recommended from a kind of quality and a price perspective. So that's why we ever contacted you. It's fair it's a nice compliment for you. I feel like from the moment that we met you, you made us feel very, very comfortable. You really, really put us at ease. You clearly had great experience. You were worried about what we were worried about. It felt personal to you. We didn't feel just like another another
Another.
project. We felt like you made us feel like we mattered and like the project mattered to you, and that was consistent throughout the project to me. Yeah, you just made us feel totally at ease. It was a really good connection. And we felt like we had really open dialogue. We could really communicate effectively.
Yeah, I mean, just to add to that, yeah, 100%. I think we felt throughout the entire project that we were listened to, and there were some details that you were always very keen to seek our approval, our what we felt, and it didn't feel like anything was too much trouble when there were things that we had to address. And ultimately, we finished where we felt really happy with when it comes to the time, the budget, everything that went into the project. The people that we had to deal with, in regards to your staff were all absolutely brilliant to work with and really tried hard to accommodate, whatever we wanted, and also were very, very respectful about the environment that we were here with our children, which is also a really big plus point when you're having those things. So yeah, absolutely, 100% it met expectations and really delivered on what we wanted.
So you
Yeah.
hear so many horror stories. Um, and I think the whole way through the project, everyone sort of is tentative to ask you how the project's going. How's it going? And they almost like shrug, waiting for you to tell them how much over time, over budget, how much you're regretting your life choices. And we were always a
Yeah.
little bit smug because the whole way through we were like, yeah, totally going to track. Yeah, we love them. Yeah, they're great. It was amazing. We were very, very relieved. And I think the whole project would have been very, very different and have felt very, very different if we hadn't have had you doing it, quite honestly. Yes, we wouldn't change anything. about the final outcome. You guided us through the decision making very, very well. I think you allowed for the natural changes of mind. I think you paused the project momentarily when decisions needed to be made. So we weren't rushed into making decisions at a pace that we were uncomfortable with. Things that we really, really wanted and really, really mattered to us, you made sure that they were able to happen. And you had such skilled tradespeople. So details and finishing and quality is excellent. And so what that's left us with is a product that we're 100% happy with. I don't think there's anything that we would change. I'd change my tap now, but that was my choice.
I mean, I think what it's done for us is it's given us a space that feels much more attuned to our lives. You know, I think we had a great space before, and we were always quite clear that we weren't unhappy with the space, but we just knew that there was potential here. And I think what it means for various things like being in here as a big family room, giving the boys a space upstairs that they can grow with and really shape, you know, as they grow up in this house. Giving me a bit more space when I'm cooking in the kitchen, you know, just being in here with the family while other things are going on. Having the huge kind of space that looks out onto the garden, that feels that it involves the garden as part of what we do, has really transformed, you know, just the general feeling and the general vibe in the house, I suppose.
Yeah,
we
host a lot as well,
Yeah.
don't we? So we host a lot and do that a lot more easily now. We've got sort of the ideal space to do that.
And I even got to put my DJ booth in the kitchen, so that's always a big plus.
Not only would we do emphatically on every occasion that
100%.
we're asked. Like I say, we would use you for anything that we wanted to do in the future. We would recommend you to anybody who's wanting to do anything. We'd be happy to talk to anybody who's considering using you, because you made the project enjoyable, fun, and the
really delivered.
output is perfect.
I think just to sort of go back to just saying as well, just about the guys, I think I'd like to just sort of echo that, you know, they were great to deal with, you know, considering they're in your house so much, you know, it could feel quite intrusive, but they never ever made it in any way feel like it was, you know, difficult or a burden, or, you know, it was just, and they were all really lovely guys, couldn't help enough. Helped with all the things that, you know, gave advice when needed, you know, because you could imagine sometimes people would be a little bit apprehensive about offering advice because they didn't want to make the wrong call, especially as, you know, being involved in that sort of project. But they were really clear about what they thought would help, and that made us feel a lot better about what we're doing. So no, I think all of them were really top guys,
Yeah.
including yourself.
Mm.